All right, if you're new to Python Tutor, I'll give you a quick tutorial of what's happening when we step through our program. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to customize this a little bit so that we're not showing all of these global function definitions. So I'm going to come down here, go to Custom Visualization, and everything that says global, I'm going to go ahead and hide these variables. So I'm just going to go down here, and I'm also going to hide the print board statements because we don't really need any of that in our program. We don't need to visualize any of that. Okay, and so now what you see, I'm just going to click step for a couple of seconds, and we can see that all of these different function definitions are being added to our global frame. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom through this to get our board here, and I'm going to start on step 54, because step 54 is where we are going to be actually calling our Minimax function. And I'll expand this a little bit so we can see. And so the green arrow is the line that just executed, and the red arrow is the line that is executing right now, and so, or the next line. And so we can see that this next line, we're about to call the Minimax function. So I'm going to click next. And so we'll go to the Minimax function definition here. And then what we'll do, and we can see that we are kind of using this, we have the variable player is 0, because that's how we call the Minimax function, and we'll keep track of our variables here. The first thing we'll do is we'll check when for player O, and so now we'll go to our check when function. And so we're going to check all of these different functions that we've created to make sure that player O hasn't won the game yet. And so we'll check the column. Let's kind of zoom through this. While this is potentially annoying to have to click through all of these different steps, it is really helpful to know that this is exactly what the computer is doing, just super duper fast. So now we're going to check the row when for player O, and then we can check the diagonal when, and we can see that we are, showing the return values over here in the blue boxes as we are checking each function, which is just helpful to visualize that this is the data that your computer is storing as it goes through the program. Okay, now we are going to check if X won. So we're going to go back and run through all of these functions again to see if player X has won the game. Cool, and so then we'll check for the tie. Is there a tie? Nope, we're going to return that to be false. So now we're actually going to get into our recursive case for our Minimax function. And so if player is O, that is going to be true, so we will begin executing this part of our function. And so we're storing this best value of -1000 here. And so now what we're doing is we're checking to see if any of these, we're going to check through our entire board to see if there are any negative or any like open spaces, right? So we're checking through that here. And then there is one, so we're going to place player O there. So that's where it says I added this print statement, place O at 1, 0. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to print the board just to see what this looks like. So we'll run through this function just to zoom through it as we are placing the board with, or replacing the board with player O at 1, 0. And we can see that already up here. Okay, and so now we're going to run this best, which is going to be the max of the best in Minimax X. And so then we'll see that we'll now go back to our Minimax definition here, except we're calling it with player X here. And so we're going to run through this entire thing again, where we check to see if O has won. And then, so I'll pause here in my explanation and give you a chance to continue exploring it on your own. But these are the things that you should be looking for as you are stepping through your Minimax function, paying close attention to the variables here, thinking through when we're going back to look at certain functions and how that plays out as we visualize our Minimax recursion function.